All right, guys, time for a little friendly fire. Whitlock and Shemeka, Shemeka and Whitlock, little friendly fire. Shemeka, I've got a great topic for us today. Jada Pinkett Smith, or Jada Pinkett, I think she's dropped the Smith, or who knows what she's doing. But anyway, I used to be in love with Jada Pinkett back in her different world days. Now, not so much. She's a bit of a nut job. She's been on a little interview spree promoting her new book and promoting her new life. And I'm gonna play a couple of clips here for you, and this won't reflect all the crazy things she said, including that she was a drug dealer at some point, but we'll get into that here in a second. But here she is saying that she's been separated from Will Smith since 2016.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, I feel like you're a straight talker.
I am.
Except you're not sometimes.
Yeah.
So why do that? Like, what was the reason?
I think just not being ready yet. Still trying to figure out between the two of us how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people, you know? And we hadn't figured that out.
During our walk in Baltimore, Jada reflected on their breakup.
Why did the relationship fracture?
Oh, well, why it fractured, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying. I think we were both kind of still stuck in our fantasy of what we thought the other person should be.
So Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for no reason. That's my takeaway from that clip. Your thoughts on them not being together since 2016?
First of all, Jason, let me say I came full set it off in honor of Jada. What's the procedure if you got a gun to your head? So, you know, this is so crazy to me because, yes, he slapped Chris Rock for no reason. And she says that this kind of made them start trying to work things out because after he slapped Chris, this is when she realized that she would never abandon him. She wouldn't walk away. She would stand by him in this, but she wouldn't try to take over and fix it like she had in times past. And so, I mean, this is what it took for you to decide that you wanted to stand by this man, him putting his entire career on the line by being stupid. Now you want to have his back after you have taken him through so much in the years prior to that. Jada is a narcissist, and it really irritates me that she's doing this book tour around the country as if she has, you know, her life's journey is some type of deep spiritual movement that we should all be seeking to have. You know, when it comes to being a wife, I get the whole love is patient, love is kind, but what she has forgotten is that love is not self-seeking. And through all of this, this is all it's been about, is Jada being self-seeking. Love always trusts. Love always protects. And this is not what she has done in her marriage. She has continued to throw Will under the bus, which is why I call her Jada Bell. She is Jezebel 2023, and every year prior to that, she is a narcissist, and she needs to be thrown to the dogs.
She's reflective of a culture and a celebration of a matriarchal culture, this whole Yas Queen era that we're living in. And, you know, she's one of the queens, and so in her mind, being a black female celebrity is a journey that everybody can learn from, and that's what gives her this importance and why she sees herself as important. And she's sitting there like everything that she's sharing is some kind of fruit being offered to the peasants of learn from me, and you know, I'm this great person. But she's reflective of an era that, you know, many of us have like bought into. These shows, from the Real Housewives to all of this other stuff, are popular. We all seem to be caught up in these phony fantasy people that are put in front of us that are more broken and destroyed than hell. You know, some ghetto woman that's living on welfare. There's no difference between her and Jada Pinkett.
Oh, I agree. And we talk so much, Jason, about modern women and criticize modern women for not wanting to submit, not wanting to cook, not wanting to clean, not wanting to take on traditional roles as a woman. But we also have to notice the modern men. There are so many modern men, such as Will Smith, that willingly bow down to a woman and just go along with their foolishness. These modern men have been shaped and molded to think that the woman is above them, that they're supposed to follow the woman, that they have to deal with the woman's BS in order to get a little bit at night on, you know, on their birthday, anniversary, or whatever. We have so many modern men out here that it's ridiculous. Will should have taken a stand a long time ago to say, Jada, shut up. You don't have to share every aspect of your life, especially when it's putting me in a position to have my reputation ruined. Will Smith had a great reputation. Although we didn't really, you know, care for his raps, you know, a lot of people thought, oh, he's, you know, bubblegum rapper.
You didn't like Summertime? You didn't like Summertime?
Summertime was okay, but some of the other ones were a little bubblegumish, you know. But he had this great reputation, and now we look at
You didn't get jiggy with it, huh?
You know. I ain't get jiggy with it. You know, we look at him now as this weak man that we have watched be emasculated in front of the world. For what? Because her movie career is over? Because her music career didn't, you know, go as planned? Why is he willing to sacrifice his reputation for this woman? So he is a prime example of the modern man that will meet crazy halfway. Because she's crazy, she's nuts. There's no way he should be meeting that halfway and trying to bend and trying to, you know, reconcile and make things okay with her. He should have told her to shut up a long time ago. You know, I want to tell I will beat her.
I've been more transparent here, and I've always been transparent, but more transparent about my personal life, some of the decisions I've made throughout the years. The Sage Steele interview brought it out of me, and so I'm gonna take another step out here. I'm of that age group that throughout my 20s, and I wrestled with this, and I felt guilty about it, but I was always clear. I argued against it. There was this whole push of like, you just can't handle a strong black woman. And many men bought into the, I want me a strong woman. And I was like, nah, that's not really what I want. You know, I really don't want to be wrestling with nobody. I really don't want to be arguing with nobody. All that pushback and, you know, but, you know, having all the talk that I did, I'm not sure if I backed it up with my actions because, you know, I feel like I was somewhat bullied into not pursuing the relationships with women that I felt like fit my needs and criteria because I didn't want to walk around with the burden of like, how come you didn't marry some strong black woman? You a sellout. And because that ain't what I wanted. I don't want to wrestle. And I could see Will Smith and all these guys that one thing I've never understood is, and because I can remember I had a friend, Carol Cole, God rest her soul. She used to tell me all the time, you need to get out of Kansas City. You instead of dating these little local girls, you should be dating some celebrity. And I was like, I don't want to date no celebrity. I want to be the celebrity. And I don't want to have to work around her schedule. I want her to work around my schedule. But Will, I think, and a lot of these guys buy the hype, and that's where I'm rambling here a little bit, but I'll give Patrick Mahomes respect as opposed to what Travis Kelce's doing, trying to date Taylor Swift. Good luck with that. Me as a man, I don't want some woman who's competing with me or has some big career that, you know, distracts from her being a helpmate to me. And, you know, I'm sorry to sound like Archie Bunker, but, you know, I want my meal and give me my beer. I don't drink beer, but if I did drink beer, put it on the table for me, baby. And anyway, I'm rambling. Your thoughts?
I agree, Jason. You actually have to marry a woman that's content in being your wife. And with some of these celebrities that go out here and marry these big name celebrities, they aren't content with being wives. They aren't content with being mothers. They want to focus on their career. They want to be in the limelight. They want to be famous. They want all the attention that comes with that. And so they look at being a wife as if it's a step down, as if it's the bottom of the barrel. So I think every man should actually get with the woman that wants to be a wife. You know, TJ and I have had the conversation. If I were to remarry and my husband were to say, hey, I don't want you on Fearless with Jason Whitlock, I don't want you in the public, you need to leave, would I leave? And my answer is yes, because my ultimate goal would be being his helpmate. You know, I wouldn't say, oh, I still got to do this and I need my DMs full. And, you know, in a perfect world, hopefully he would see that I'm doing good work here and that he could live with that. But if he couldn't, I'm chucking the deuces. And so with a lot of these women, it's not enough. Being a wife is not enough. Society has made women think, you know, that unless you're this boss bee, you're not doing anything. And so that's why women will have babies, and 6 weeks from the time the baby is born, they're tossing that baby into a daycare center with a woman who doesn't have children most of the time, who I don't understand why you think this woman is more capable of taking care of the child that you carried for 40 weeks than you are. But that's what we do. We toss that child to the side to go after the coin because we're so stuck on materialism. And so when it comes to Will and Jada, she watched her career diminish because she wasn't this person in Set It Off and Nutty Professor anymore. Her career started to go down. She had children, she was a mom, and I don't feel like it was enough for her. And so here she is now on this All Eyes on Me book tour, you know, wanting everybody to just hear how the last 30 years of her life has gone. We don't care. You know, we were content with her being Will Smith's wife. And if she did a movie here and there, great. If she didn't, so what? We love seeing them together because it was a couple that actually came together, had kids. This is what so many people aspire to have for themselves, but it wasn't enough for her. And so that's why every time it dies down, she has to come out with something else. This whole red table, having your husband sit and listen to you having physical relations with another man in front of the entire world, and y'all were separated, what kind of craziness is that? And I actually look down on Will for being willing to sit there. What kind of whoreness is that you want to be famous so bad that you would even be willing to sit and let your wife denigrate you and be condescending in front of the world, and you're just sitting there with tears in your eyes like you got to go through with it? That's the most bitch thing that I have ever seen a man do, and y'all weren't even together. I think that's the whole, like, what? Y'all weren't even together? You threatened Chris Rock, telling him to keep your wife's name out of his mouth, and your wife was sleeping somewhere else? if she did this with August Alsina, what was she doing when y'all living in two separate places, or y'all are, you know, officially separated, and you out here acting a fool? You look like a nutcase.
Yeah, and Jada certainly is a nutcase, and Will's a match right there for her. It speaks to a lot about what Hollywood does to men and women. I want to play this clip of Jada, and everybody loves this worshiping of the dead and glomming onto the dead to build themselves up. And so Jada is now saying that Tupac Shakur proposed to her. Let's play the clip.
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. And so when he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that, A, he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. He didn't have to marry me to do time. Right? I'm here.
Now you see why we love you.
I did not know. I heard about this clip. I didn't know it was with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Lord have mercy. A lot of demonic injury flowing through that entire conversation. But I don't know if that's something to brag about, that Tupac wanted you to be his prison bee. I don't know. I mean, because don't a lot of dudes in prison, you know, end up marrying women about my size? I mean, it seems a little disrespectful. Like he's treating you like a 300-pounder, Jada. I mean, I know he's Tupac, but I mean, he's proposing to you like you his 300-pound pen pal. Your thoughts?
You know, you ever heard the term bald head liar? That's exactly what I think about when I see that clip. Jada is such a liar, and Tupac had a whole different female or woman that he was with during this time. So her time frame is not.
What was his name? I done watched the Tupac documentary. That boy had a little sugar in his tank, but go ahead.
But, you know, the time frame isn't even adding up, and you're right. Every woman knows that you don't trust a man that's in prison, because they are reaching out for a lifeline. They don't want to do their time alone. So to even be sitting here bragging that that's the offer you got while he was locked up, you sound stupid. And Steven sounds just as stupid. Him and Matt Barnes, he's talking about you're a rider, you know, and Steven is like, now you see why we love you. That ain't why we love her. We loved Lena James in A Different World. We loved Lyric in Jason's Lyric. We loved her in Set It Off. This whole Jada Pinkett, this little chin woman, we don't love her. We don't believe her. We feel like she's full of crap because we have watched what she has done to her husband and her kids. Her kids don't even know whether they are coming or going. There's a video out with her opening the book, and her son Jaden is sitting there with a hood on from his jacket, tied up to his nose. All we can see are his eyes. And I'm thinking, everybody else in the frame, they're inside, they have on normal clothes. Why is this little boy, you know, young man, sitting here looking dumb? This is what his mother has done to him. And he has admitted that she got them trying hallucinogenic drugs. She talks about that, how she, you know, was hooked on it. She had these ideas of suicide. this is not somebody we should be modeling our lives after. And what really frustrates me is that because she's a Black woman, she knows that she can say this stuff and not really come under the heavy criticism that needs to take place, because Black women are untouchable. So she's gonna have a lot of Black women rally around her like, oh, this is Jada Pinkett. She had one of the most successful men in the game, and look how she's still this boss woman and she's still running things. And Black men are tired. So if you have a woman that is praising Jada right now, you're in trouble, because you already know she is not gonna be good for you. And honestly, people are tired. I'm sick of hearing it. I DM Will myself. He may never open it, but I said, please ask your wife to shut up and take us out the group chat. So if you know Will Smith, please tell him, open my DM. I am begging him to stand up and get this woman to shut up. It's one thing to, want to promote your book, but it's something totally different to drag your husband through the mud in the process. And I just think there's a way that you can tell your truth, or tell the truth of your life, without demonizing this man that you've been with for over 20 years. In my book, I have a section called Marriage and Divorce. I tell the honest truth, but my ex-husband was at my book signing and release, my party. He was there because he read it and he supported everything, and he never felt demonized. He never felt like I was trying to drag him, although it's called Keep It Naked. And I was very open and I was very honest. So there's a way that it can be done without actually ridiculing someone and making them look stupid. His reputation is intact. And I told the honest truth in that book. And so I just feel like Jada is very self-serving in the way that she's going about this. And, I would feel sorry for Will, but he's the man and he's allowing it to happen. Jada is a result of what Will has allowed for over 20-something years.
What do you think about her saying she dealt drugs and wanted to be a drug queen pin at one point? She got her break in Hollywood around age 20. So when was she plot to be this drug queen pin? When she was 16, 17, 18 years old, I guess. And I just, I guess everybody tells all their business, but my God, I'm gonna take some of my dirt to the grave. I'm gonna share it with God, and that's about it.
Look, Jason, if your friends want to join, or want to get high, and you say, okay, I know somebody I can call, and you call them and say, hey, can I get a dime bag? That does not make you a drug dealer. And I think what she's doing is inflating these experiences and making it seem like, she should be on a criminal episode. We have these trap queens. You're not on the next episode of Trap Queens, Jada. That does not make you a drug dealer. I've done that. I was in high school, we smoked in the 12th grade. Hey, somebody who's selling? Let me call that person. Never made me a drug dealer. I actually married someone who went to jail, prison for drugs. Never made me a drug dealer. I don't think I was a trap queen. And Jada, this is just, again, her trying to get attention and seem like she's this down ass bitch. Jada, you're not a gangsta B. That was a song back in the 90s. I want a gangsta B, a gangster. That's what she's thinking she's doing, and she's looking so stupid. And it's just making me angry that so many people are falling for it. Even this whole alopecia thing. If you really have this autoimmune disease that gets rid of your hair, why are you still dyeing it blonde? Because we all know that bleach and color is not good for your hair. She can't even keep up with her own lies. Now all of a sudden, she's taking this treatment and it's growing back. You're still mistreating your head, little bald head liar. I don't believe she was a drug dealer. I think Lena James at Hillman sold nickel bags. And so she's getting confused between reality and the parts that she played on TV. Because Lena James was friends with Tupac there. She sold a few nickel bags, but not Jada Pinkett. Jada, stop the lies. We don't believe you.
Thank you, Shemeka. Great job as always. If you guys love this content, hop in the comments, leave a comment, tell us what you think about Jada Pinkett Smith. But if you really want to be supportive, go to cozyearth.com/fearless and enter my promo code fearless at checkout to save 40% right now. Try them for 100 nights. If you don't like Cozy Earth sheets, if they don't make you cooler, you can send it back and get a full refund. All right, we'll see you next time. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all of your fearless friends.